Hello all and welcome to TVM Academy. This is VARC 100, a free practice course for CAT verbal section. RC number 50 of the series. Let's begin. So in the first paragraph, author tells us that some people blame corporations for ignoring public good, but others, such as economists, find this criticism flawed because they believe corporations do not have a moral responsibility. In the second and third paragraphs, he explains economists' point of view. They believe that it is wrong to ascribe the idea of morality to corporations because they are not human beings, they are not persons. And the CEO, as a person, has an obligation to maximize profits for the corporation he's working for. And they also believe that profit maximization automatically leads to public good. This is an economist's argument. And in the last paragraph, author rejects their argument and he says, there is no guarantee that a company's profit maximizing actions lead to public good, and also that CEO has a moral responsibility to stop its company from taking actions that can harm the public or that do not lead to public good. So this is the gist of the passage. Question number 1. What is the main point of the passage? Option A. Although CEOs may be legally obligated to maximize their corporation's profits, this obligation does not free them from the moral responsibility of considering the implications of their actions for the public good. Exactly what the passage argues, especially in the last paragraph. Option B. Although morality is not easily ascribed to non-human entities, corporations can be said to have an obligation to act morally in the sense that they are made up of individuals who must act morally. A tempting choice and not entirely wrong. It could as well be the main point of the passage. The only difference between A and B is that A directly names the CEO, who happens to be the main point of discussion in this passage, while B mentions individuals who must act morally generally. However, the focus of the passage is on CEO's moral responsibility as a person in charge of the company. So A is more direct, more specific, just a better answer choice than B. B is not entirely wrong. Okay. Option C. Although economists argue that maximizing a corporation's profits is likely to turn out best for the public, a CEO's true obligation is still to seek a profit for the company. Option C is actually contradictory to author's point of view. According to the author, CEO's obligations are moral in nature. He has a moral responsibility rather than merely the responsibility of maximizing the profit for the company. So that moral obligation point of view is not taken care of by option C. Option D, although some people criticize corporations for making unethical decisions, economists argue that such criticisms are unfounded because ethical considerations cannot be applied to economics. Though option D is factually correct, factually true, but it captures only economists' point of view and some other people, some third party point of view. Option D does not capture, however, author's point of view. Author does not believe that CEOs are exempt from moral responsibility. So that point, that CEOs are not exempt from moral responsibility, which happens to be the main point of discussion, author's point of view is not taken care of. It is not captured by option D. Therefore, it is incorrect. It is incomplete, so to say. It is a narrow point of discussion, a very minor point, covers economist's point of view, but not author's rejection of that point of view, right? 2. The discussion of paper mill in the last paragraph is intended primarily to do what? Now, right before he gives us the example of paper mill and says that it can harm the environment. It can harm the environment while pursuing profits, right? Right before this, he says, there is no guarantee that maximizing corporate profit always benefit the public. So this is the example he's giving, right? Therefore, option B, he's trying to refute the contention that maximization of profits necessarily benefits the public. That is why he gives us this example to show that it is not necessary that maximization of profit always leads to public good. Option A, to offer an actual case of unethical corporate behavior. This was not an actual case. Author is only speaking in hypotheticals. He says, let us say a paper mill does this. Let us say is a hypothetical example. It's not an actual case in the first place. Option C, to illustrate that ethical restrictions on corporations would be difficult to enforce. Author does not talk about enforcement of ethical restrictions at all. He talks about whether or not profit maximization leads to public good. Option D, demonstrate that corporations are responsible for many social ills. Again, he is not really arguing that much that corporations are responsible for many multiple social ills, right? He's merely saying that corporations have a responsibility to consider morality as well. They cannot simply go on pursuing profit, or in quest of profit, they cannot harm public. That's what his argument is. Not necessarily that they're responsible for many social ills. So this is also factually incorrect. Okay. With which of the following would the economists mentioned in the passage most likely to agree? Okay. Option A. Even CEOs of charitable organizations are obligated to maximize profits. No. As a matter of fact, third paragraph, the economists argue that a CEO's sole responsibility is to the owners to maximize profits, whose primary interest, except in the case of charitable organizations. So these economists agree, they concede that in case of charitable institutions, it is not their responsibility to maximize the profits. Okay, so option A is wrong, factually contradictory. CEOs of owner-operated non-charitable corporations should make decisions based primarily on maximizing profits. Will these economists agree? Yes, let's see. These economists argue, suppose a non-charitable organization is owner-operated, or for some other reason, its CEO is not obligated to maximize profits. He's not obligated to maximize profits. The economist's view is that even in that case, the CEO should still work to maximize profits. So explicitly written in the passage. So economists agree that CEOs of owner-operated non-charitable corporations also should make decisions primarily based on maximizing profits. Though they are not obligated to, they should make decisions on profit maximization basis. C, owner-operated non-charitable corporations are less likely to be profitable than other corporations. Profitability, whether they're profitable or not, it is out of context of discussion altogether, alien idea. It is highly unlikely that the actions of any particular CEO will benefit the public. Well, contradictory to what economists believe. Question is about economists. Economists actually say that it will be best for the public anyway. If a CEO is trying to maximize profit for a company, it will anyway will be beneficial to the public. So D is opposite to economists' point of view, right? The conception of morality that underlies the author's argument in the passage is best expressed by which of the following principles? So what is the idea of morality according to the author? Okay, option A. What makes actions morally right is their contribution to the public good. Exactly, because the entire argument revolves around public good. And by that he concludes that they have CEOs have a responsibility to act morally. Therefore, of course, his idea of morality, author's idea of morality, is that whatever contributes to public good is moral. Okay. An action is morally right if it carries the risk of personal penalty. Nowhere written in the passage. Actions are morally right if they are not fraudulent or illegal. Author does not talk about fraudulence or illegality at all. It is morally wrong to try to maximize one's personal benefits. Author never goes to the extent of saying that it's morally wrong to maximize profit, but it is wrong to harm public while maximizing profits. It's not inherently wrong to maximize profits, but if you go to the extent of harming public or environment for that matter, in order to pursue profits, then it is wrong, morally wrong. So D is extreme statement. Author does not go to that extreme. Okay. What is the primary purpose of this passage? To illustrate a paradox. There's no paradox involved. Paradox is a self-contradicting situation. There's no paradox involved here. To argue for legal reform. Author is not really arguing for any legal reform. No law should be made. A CEO should bear the moral responsibility. That's all. To refute a claim. Yes, whose claim? Economists claim. What do economists claim? That CEOs do not have a moral responsibility, and profit maximization anyway leads to public good. Both the claims have been refuted by the author. He says that CEOs have a moral responsibility and not all profit maximization actions lead to public good. So C, the primary purpose of the passage is to refute economists' claim. To explain a decision, no decision has been taken really. So this is alien. Hope you enjoyed this passage. I would say easy to moderate. Keep watching these videos. Keep sharing word about TVM Academy. Please like the video. It will help us reach more students, more learners, and make our time, make our effort worth the while. Thank you very much. Until next time, bye-bye. Cheers to learning.